Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I hope you are doing well and continuing to practice your English every day. In our previous lessons, we learned how to speak our first English sentences and how to introduce ourselves confidently. Today, we are going to talk about something that is very important in every person's life: family. No matter where we come from, our family plays an important role in shaping who we are. Family is where we learn our first lessons. Family is where we receive love, support, guidance, and encouragement. And because family is such an important part of our lives, it becomes one of the most common topics in everyday conversations. Imagine that you meet someone for the first time. You introduce yourself. You talk about your city. You talk about your studies or work. Sooner or later, they will ask, "Tell me about your family." And today, you will learn how to answer that question naturally and confidently. Let us begin with a very common question. How many members are there in your family? A simple answer could be, "There are 4 members in my family," or "There are 5 members in my family." But in real conversations, it is always better to provide a little more information. For example, there are 4 members in my family: my father, my mother, my younger sister, and I. Or, there are 5 members in my family: my parents, my brother, my grandmother, and I. Notice how easily the answer becomes more interesting. Now let us talk about parents. Parents are often the most important people in our lives. When describing your parents, you can talk about their profession, personality, or the role they play in your life. For example, my father is a businessman. My father works in a private company. My father is a teacher. My mother is a homemaker. My mother is a doctor. My mother works as a manager. These are simple and useful sentences. But let us go a little deeper. Instead of only describing what your parents do, you can also describe who they are. For example, my father is a hardworking and disciplined person. He always encourages me to work hard and stay focused on my goals. Or, my mother is caring and supportive. She always motivates me to do my best and never give up. Notice how these sentences tell us more about your family. Now let me ask you a question. What qualities do you admire most in your parents? Perhaps honesty, perhaps kindness, perhaps discipline, perhaps determination. You can talk about these qualities in English. For example, my parents have taught me the importance of honesty and hard work. Or, my parents always encourage me to keep learning and improving. These are meaningful sentences that can make your English sound more natural and mature. Now let us talk about siblings. Many people have brothers or sisters. Someone may ask, "Do you have any siblings?" You can answer, "Yes, I have 1 brother." "Yes, I have 1 sister." "I have 1 brother and 1 sister." Or, "No, I am an only child." These answers are correct, but again, we can make them more interesting. For example, I have a younger brother who enjoys playing football and spending time with his friends. Or, I have an elder sister who works as a teacher and inspires me to work hard. These details help keep the conversation going. Now let us talk about grandparents. Grandparents often play a special role in our lives. Many people have fond memories of spending time with their grandparents. You can say, "My grandparents live with us." Or, "My grandparents live in our hometown." Or, "I enjoy spending time with my grandparents because they always share interesting stories and valuable advice." This is a wonderful way to make your English sound more personal. Now let us discuss different types of families. You may have heard the terms nuclear family and joint family. A nuclear family usually consists of parents and children. A joint family includes grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, and other relatives living together. You can say, I come from a nuclear family, or I belong to a joint family. Both are common expressions. Now let us talk about relationships within a family. A strong family is built on trust, respect, understanding, and support. You might say, "My family is very supportive," or "We share a close bond," or "We enjoy spending time together," or "We help each other during difficult times." These are simple but powerful expressions. Now let me tell you a small story. There was a young student who wanted to achieve great success in life. He worked hard every day. Whenever he faced challenges, he sometimes felt discouraged. But his family never stopped supporting him. His parents encouraged him. His siblings believed in him. And because of their support, he continued moving forward. Years later, when people asked him about the secret behind his success, he always gave the same answer: "My family's support gave me the confidence to keep going." Think about that for a moment. Family support can have a tremendous impact on our lives. And this is why family often becomes one of the most emotional topics in conversations. Now let us talk about family values. Every family has values. Some families emphasize education. Some emphasize honesty. Some emphasize discipline. Some emphasize kindness and compassion. You can say, "My family values education and hard work." Or, "My family believes in honesty and respect." Or, "My parents taught me to treat everyone with kindness." These statements help people understand your background and character. Now let us discuss family traditions. Every family has traditions, whether they realize it or not. Some families eat dinner together every evening. Some celebrate festivals together. Some take annual vacations. Some gather every weekend. For example, my family always celebrates festivals together. Or, we enjoy having dinner together and discussing our day. Or, every year we visit our relatives during holidays. These traditions help create strong relationships and lasting memories. Now let us talk about childhood memories. Many of our happiest memories involve family. Perhaps you remember celebrating birthdays. Perhaps you remember family trips. Perhaps you remember spending time with cousins during holidays. You can say, "One of my favorite childhood memories is spending summer vacations with my grandparents." Or, "I have wonderful memories of celebrating festivals with my family." Or, "When I was a child, my family often took trips together, and those experiences created unforgettable memories." Notice how easy storytelling can be when you talk about your own life. Notice how easy storytelling can be when you talk about your own life. Now let us learn how to describe family members. Imagine someone asks, "What is your father like?" You could answer, "My father is hardworking, responsible, and disciplined." Or, "He is very patient and always gives me good advice." Similarly, if someone asks about your mother, you might say, "My mother is kind, caring, and supportive." Or, "She always encourages me to believe in myself." These descriptions help bring your family members to life in conversation. Now let us create a complete example. Imagine someone asks, "Tell me about your family." You could answer, "There are 4 members in my family. My father is a businessman, and my mother is a homemaker. I also have a younger sister who is currently studying in school. We share a close bond and enjoy spending time together. My parents have always encouraged me to work hard and pursue my goals. They have taught me the importance of honesty, discipline, and respect. I feel grateful to have such a supportive family." Now that sounds natural and confident. Let us try another example. I come from a joint family. We live together with our grandparents, parents, and cousins. Living in a joint family has taught me the importance of sharing, cooperation, and respect. We celebrate festivals together and support each other during difficult times. I enjoy being part of such a large and loving family. Again, simple English. but meaningful communication. Now let me share an important tip. Whenever you talk about family, do not focus only on facts. Talk about experiences. Talk about lessons. Talk about values. People remember stories much more than information. For example, instead of saying, "My father is a teacher," you can say, "My father is a teacher and he has taught me the value of continuous learning." Instead of saying, "My mother is a homemaker," you can say, "My mother is a homemaker and she has taught me patience, kindness, and responsibility." These small additions make a big difference. As we continue improving our English, remember that conversations are not about using difficult words. They are about sharing your thoughts, experiences, and feelings. And family is one of the easiest topics because it is something you already know very well. You do not need to invent stories. You simply need to learn how to express them in English. Now, family is where our journey begins. Family shapes our values. Family teaches us important lessons. Family gives us support and encouragement. But as we grow older, another group of people starts playing an important role in our lives. These are the people we choose ourselves, the people we laugh with, the people we trust, the people who stand beside us during both happy and difficult times. Of course, I am talking about our friends. And that is exactly where our conversation continues next. And as we were discussing family, you may have noticed something interesting. The people closest to us have a powerful influence on our lives. They shape our thoughts. They influence our habits. They support us during difficult times. And while family is the first group of people that help shape who we become, there is another group that becomes increasingly important as we grow older. These are the people we choose ourselves, our friends. Think about your life for a moment. Can you remember your first friend? Perhaps it was someone from your neighborhood. Perhaps it was a classmate. Perhaps it was someone you met at school. Most of us can remember at least one special friend from our childhood. That is because friendships create memories, and memories stay with us for a very long time. Now imagine that someone asks you, "Do you have many friends?" This is a very common question. You might answer, "Yes, I have many friends," or "I have a small group of close friends," or "I prefer having a few close friends rather than many acquaintances." All of these answers are perfectly natural. Now let us make our English a little more interesting. Instead of simply saying, "I have many friends," you could say, "I have a small circle of close friends who have been an important part of my life for many years." Notice how much more personal and meaningful that sounds. Now imagine someone asks, "Who is your best friend?" This is another question that people often ask. You could answer, "My best friend is Rahul," or "My best friend is Priya." But again, we can make the answer stronger. For example, my best friend is Rahul. We have known each other since childhood and share a strong bond. Or, "My best friend is Priya. She is supportive, honest, and always encourages me to do my best." Now your answer sounds much more natural. Let us talk about the qualities of a good friend. What makes someone a good friend? Think about that for a moment. Most people would probably say, trust, honesty, loyalty, kindness, support, respect, understanding. These qualities form the foundation of strong friendships. You can say, "A good friend is someone you can trust," or "A true friend supports you during difficult times," or "I believe loyalty and honesty are the most important qualities in a friendship." These are useful sentences because they not only improve your English, but also help you express meaningful ideas. Now let me tell you a short story. There were two friends who had known each other for many years. They studied together. They played together. They shared countless memories. One day, one of them faced a difficult challenge. Many people disappeared during that difficult period. But his best friend remained by his side. He listened. He encouraged him. He reminded him not to give up. Years later, when people asked him how he overcame that challenge, he always mentioned his friend's support. That is the power of true friendship. Good friends are not only present during good times, they stay with us during difficult times as well. Now let us learn how to talk about our friends in English. Someone might ask, "How did you meet your best friend?" You could answer, "We met at school," or "We met in college," or "We met through mutual friends." These answers are correct, but let us expand them. For example, we met at school when we were children, and over the years we became very close friends. Or, we met in college and quickly discovered that we shared many common interests. Notice how a simple answer becomes a conversation. That is exactly what we want. Now let us talk about childhood friends. Many people have friends they have known for years. You might say, "I have a childhood friend whom I have known for more than 10 years." Or, "We grew up together and shared many wonderful memories." Or, "We used to play together every evening after school." These are natural ways to describe long-term friendships. Now let us discuss school and college friends. School friendships often create some of our happiest memories. You might say, "My school friends and I shared many unforgettable experiences." Or, "We still stay in touch even though we graduated years ago." Similarly, college friendships often involve learning, growth, and shared goals. You can say, "My college friends and I often discussed our future plans and career goals." Or, "I learned a lot from my college friends because they came from different backgrounds." Notice how friendships help us grow. Friends influence our thinking. They influence our habits, and they often influence our future. There is a famous saying, "You become like the people you spend the most time with." Think about that. If you spend time with positive people, their positivity influences you. If you spend time with hardworking people, their discipline inspires you. If you spend time with people who value learning, you become more interested in learning. That is why choosing good friends is important. Now imagine somebody asks, "What do you usually do with your friends?" You could answer, "We enjoy playing sports together," or "We like watching movies," or "We often go out for meals and spend time talking," or "We enjoy traveling and exploring new places." Simple answers, but effective answers. Now let us make them more interesting. For example, my friends and I enjoy discussing ideas, sharing experiences, and helping each other solve problems. Or, we enjoy exploring new places together and creating memorable experiences. Now your English sounds much more natural. Now let us talk about memories. When people talk about friends, they often talk about memories. Think about your favorite memory with your friends. Perhaps it was a trip. Perhaps it was a celebration. Perhaps it was a funny moment at school. Perhaps it was simply a conversation that you still remember. You can say, "One of my favorite memories is a trip I took with my friends during college." Or, "I have many wonderful memories with my friends, but my favorite is when we worked together on a project and achieved success." Stories make conversations interesting, and your own experiences provide some of the best stories you can tell. Now let us bring everything together. Listen carefully. Family and friends are among the most important parts of my life. My family has always supported me and encouraged me to work hard. They have taught me valuable lessons about honesty, discipline, and perseverance. I enjoy spending time with my family, especially during festivals and family gatherings. At the same time, I am grateful for my friends, who have been with me through many important moments in life. My friends motivate me, support me, and inspire me to become a better person. I believe strong relationships are one of the greatest sources of happiness and strength. That sounds natural, confident, and meaningful. Now, Before we finish today's lesson, I want you to think about something. Family and friends are important because they are part of our everyday lives. We talk to them, we spend time with them, we share experiences with them. And when we describe these relationships, we are really describing our daily life. Think about your own day. You wake up in the morning. You meet family members. You talk to friends. You go to school, college, or work. You complete tasks. You follow routines. In fact, a large part of our conversations revolves around our daily activities. People often ask, "What time do you wake up? What do you usually do during the day? How do you spend your evenings? Tell me about your daily routine." And being able to answer these questions confidently is one of the most useful speaking skills you can develop. That is exactly what we are going to learn in our next lesson. In the next video, we will learn how to talk about our daily routine in English naturally and confidently. You will learn how to describe your day from morning to night, how to talk about habits, how to discuss productive routines, and how to speak about everyday life in a way that sounds natural and fluent. Until then, keep practicing, keep speaking, keep building your confidence. And remember, the best English conversations are not about difficult words. They are about real life, your experiences, your relationships, and your story. Thank you for joining me today. Take care, keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next lesson, where we begin talking about your daily routine in English. See you there.